All views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, we encourage you to like and share them on Facebook. It's about what's going on and what's happening. It's time for the Sue-Ellen Sanders Show, hosted by Sue-Ellen Sanders.
It is what's going on and what's happening, and we always have the latest here on the Sue-Ellen Sanders Show. Thank you for joining me. I'm lucky to have with me today Sonia Depree, who's been on our show before. She's with End It, and the last time she was here, you were talking about a drama show that the youth of End It were putting together, and this time it's a new show.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking more about it. And we have Sophia and Jaden both here, and they are two of the youth that are involved in End It, and they are also involved in this show, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. So looking forward to hearing it. Sonia, let's start off with a little bit of background with you and the young adults talking about End It and what it is. And, of course, End It stands for everybody is not doing it.
Yes, that's correct. So everybody's not doing it. And we have programs to serve middle school and high school or preteens and teens. And what we're doing is coming against a lot of the things in the popular culture that has our teens thinking that behaviors such as drugs, alcohol, disrespecting their parents, skipping school, being concerned about their grades, having them think that those things are cool and that they are the fun way to go. So what we do is we educate them about that and not only just say what not to do, but then we give them positive alternatives to put in its place. So what can I do with my time? And that is where we provide arts programming for teens.
And your arts programming is not just ordinary arts program, but it's program with a message.
Yes.
And the message is a combination of you started off with the first dramatic production you did was a walkthrough production of the against child endangerment,
Child sex trafficking,
and sex trafficking, and that turned out to be such a monumental success that you took it from a walkthrough program to then you had it on stage at Sunrise Theater.
Yes.
And then you took it on the road.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you. We all of our productions, our plays, the arts that we use, we teach our teens a message first. So whether it's bullying, child sex trafficking, domestic violence, suicide, different topics that affect them, we learn it, and then they are part of producing an original stage play. It could be a exhibition, it could be a spoken word, it could be a song, just different things to take the information to the community as well as their peers as far as that same topic. So Daddy was the name of the human trafficking walkthrough that we did, and then we converted to a stage play. And this last summer, we did A Broken Chain. That was the last time we had the pleasure of being here. And you all helped us to promote that. A Broken Chain was about breaking the chains of domestic violence. So there was a teen in the production who had a decision to make, whether she was going to continue on the chain or whether she was going to break it. So
what's really neat about the program is not only are you practicing what you preach, actually giving youth in the area something to do other than the things that they shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
But they're involved in preaching, so to speak, to their friends and to people in the audience about something they already feel strongly about. Sophia, this is the first time you're here on the show, so let's give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about how you got started with End It.
I got started with End It after I went and saw one of their daddy walkthroughs, and it was one of their more original ones. And afterwards, I decided that I for sure wanted to join the team and become part of what they were doing. So when I joined right before they were going to be doing their first walkthrough at the Sunrise Theater. So then I was part of that and a couple of the stage plays at the Sunrise Theater, but it was just a really great and fun environment and an arts program where you could do the acting without a lot of the other peer pressure that can come with it.
So, and you kind of answered my next question, which was going to be what attracted you to the program? Was it the message, or was it the way you deliver the message? And
I think it was probably a combination of both. I had been looking for an arts group to join a lot recently around that time. It was just hard because either they were super expensive and very, very time-consuming or far away, but also because when you would go to the plays, it was stuff where most of the roles I would have felt uncomfortable portraying, or it was portraying like a message that like I didn't agree with.
mm-hmm.
So it was great to find like the perfect happy meeting of everything.
Of everything, and you know, some of the drama programs are very competitive too, and if you haven't been involved in them since you were 5 years old, then you're not going to get any good parts, and that's kind of frustrating, I know, for young people as well. How old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16, so this is something that you're taking on and that you can kind of put your heart and soul to. The other thing, Sonia, I really like about the program is that you kind of allow the kids to lead the way.
Yes.
To say, okay, well, what are we going to do next? What do you think we should do next?
Right, exactly. They have a lot of input. I like to use the analogy. It's like coming with a canvas, and we have different exercises we go through where I can pull from them their ideas and what is relevant in this culture and the relevant way to say things, and they correct me a lot. But it's like I think it's like kind of paint splattering just against the canvas, and then my job is to come and kind of form it into the direction they want it to go, in the way that they want it to go. So I kind of weave a storyline through what they want to see happen or what they're telling me is happening based on the information that they have. So they're all very, I love to see the confidence grow in them, especially when you have new students come to, as you say, have never done anything with acting. And they come and they kind of run from the stage for a while. They want to work backstage. You don't want to be out in front. But they eventually make their way,
they put their big toe in the water.
Exactly. And it's more than just theater, but it's like you said, it's a message. And if it's something they feel strongly about, they don't mind having the courage and the boldness to get on the stage and to tell other people about it, even if it's their peers. So I really admire them for that.
So, Jaden, you've been here on the show before, and you've been in the productions pretty much since the beginning. Is that correct?
Actually, no. I joined. I started the productions about last season. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And well, what I learned, well, what attracted me to end it was 3 of my siblings did it. That was one reason, and the other reason was I went to one of their walkthroughs. For me, I like the message because I like doing things for people. I don't like doing things for myself. I like helping other people because it doesn't feel right for me to help me when I know I can help other people.
Do peers, especially the ones that think they're the cool ones, that are doing some of the things or maybe just saying they're doing some of the things that you know are not healthy, do they make fun of you? Do you ever get any pushback on that?
I've had a couple people come to the show, and it was a little surprising because I was nervous because it was my family that invited them to the show, and we brought them there, and I was, nervous that once I got back it would be where I would be made fun of, but they were actually like super excited about it and like very, that was so cool, I loved it, oh my goodness, like it was so sad, and then it was just like I didn't know what was gonna happen, and like they were more so like very excited and inspired by it then I think being like choosing to make fun of it or thinking that it was, oh, yeah, that's okay, but I can do this and that. So,
Jaden, you agree?
Yes.
So the show that's coming up is a fundraiser called A Wedding Night to Remember, and it's different. It's more of a fundraiser than it is an issue related show. It's kind of a funny night out.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. This is in the fall. This has become our kind of our rotation in our rotation. So we do again very hard hitting topics, bringing issues to the community. But in the fall season and also Christmas is when we get a chance to be lighter, to have fun. So this is a mystery dinner that is a comedy as well. It is still an original production in which they get a chance to think of the comedy and to come along with the storyline, and that's been a lot of fun. So this is definitely an opportunity. Last year we did Bye Bye Betty. It was set in the 1920s. This year we're doing A Wedding Night, Knight, to remember, and it's set in medieval times. So we're really excited about this. We're having a good time with it.
So how did you go about with the costumes for this medieval times?
It's a lot of fun. So we're still working on the costumes. I had them trying on stuff last week and even Jaden last night. And it's so funny. They're very involved in the process. So because of the team's response to, I'll just say, Jaden's costume, they didn't like it. So I've got to send that one back. But they're my editors and they're my co-writers and everything. Creators, yes.
The voices in the back of your head and sometimes in the front.
Yes.
Well, before we go any farther, I just have to tell you that I have a maybe 8-10 foot high knight in the foyer of my house, and I would be happy to to offer it to you to loan as a prop if you would like. When I first started teaching, I taught 12th grade English.
Okay.
And so a lot of it was like the medieval times and that type of Beowulf and then continuing on. I saw this and wanted it and had it in my classroom, and then brought it to several other classrooms, and then brought it to my house. And it actually serves a very unique purpose in that it holds my scarves.
Oh.
But I'll take the scarves off and donate it as a prop because it's very cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to invite the people who are coming to the show to also dress up?
Yes, definitely. They are a part of the scene. They're a part of the setting. It's very interactive. So definitely it's suggested that they wear medieval inspired attire. However, it's not a showstopper. So don't not come because you don't want to dress up. But that's definitely a part of what makes it fun. It adds to the they're a part of the set, a part of the setting. And we'd love to, be able to borrow your night as well. I'm looking for was just looking today for things for a photo op.
Oh,
opportunity.
awesome.
So that would be amazing.
He would be a terrific photo op. But also keep in mind, I don't know if we talked about the date of the event, but it's October 20th. And that's just a week and a half before Halloween. So if you do decide that you are going to dress up for this event, you could also use your costume or part of it for Halloween. So
yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of options out there right now because Halloween is coming up. So whether it's online or, in the stores, medieval is not as rare of a costume theme as I thought it might be hard to find, but it's been really easy to find. If you look up Renaissance, medieval, like all sorts of things come up.
Is Robin Hood from the medieval times?
Yes, stuff for Robin Hood comes up as well.
Okay, all right, good. I'm set then.
Yes.
I'm ready to go. Jaden, you want to give us some more details about the event itself?
Yes, the Wedding Night to Remember is a mystery dinner theater set in medieval times. It's as she said, it's October 20th. It's the doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7.
Are you all going to be on stage, or are you going to be wandering around with the audience?
Both.
Ah.
Yes, it's very interactive. The audience has to get involved in solving the mystery.
That's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
That's a lot of
So,
fun. And what's the ticket price?
Um, it's $45 each, but for a couple, it's $80.
Okay, so it's a discount if you have a couple, and it's a dinner theater, so that includes food.
Right, it includes food. We're having, to go with the times, roasted turkey leg.
Ooh.
Yes, smashed potatoes, mixed vegetables. There's a chef's dessert and a salad. So we have that. We also have people taking advantage of the opportunity to just buy a table for $400. That's $40 for 10 seats at a table. So we have a couple of organizations that are doing that, a church. So that's an option as well. Yeah.
So you could, if you do buy a table, is there, like, if you're a small business or something, you can invite the people that are part of your business, but is there like a sponsorship that goes with it?
Yes,
do
we
you have that?
absolutely have sponsor packages as well, and they range anywhere from $250 to $1,000, and they have cool names such as Night and Dame Level. That's the $250 package. That includes event tickets and marketing on our social media. We have the Duke and Duchess level is $500. That includes 4 tickets, social media marketing, and name in our programs as well. The Baron and Baroness level, $750, has 6 tickets, and then you'll also get an ad on the table as well as the same incentives that are in the other packages. And then the King and Queen level is the full table plus all of the marketing as well. So, yeah, we definitely
So
have
there's
options for
there's a
that.
lot of pluses in the different types of sponsorships that you can get. What is the best way if people want to get in touch with you? Through your Facebook page? Is that how you generally get the messages?
Yes, we get messages on Facebook. Our Facebook is Endit Corp, ENDITCORP. Also, we get phone calls as well. Our phone number is 772-302-3731. And then our tickets are available online as well as at our Performing Arts Center. And we love to give tours. So if anyone hearing this message would like to see or hear more about what we're doing, we have an after-school program now. We just finished our summer camp, as I said, and then we still have performing arts evenings. We've even got family hip hop classes.
Well, we've
on
got
Wednesday
plenty
nights.
of time, so
Okay.
let's talk a little bit
Sure.
more about some of the programs that you offer there.
Okay.
And of course, anybody who's interested, either interested just because you want to see what's happening, or interested because you have young people in your lives that might want to be a part of it. They
Yes.
can call Sonia and arrange for a tour. And so there's an after school program that's going on now, and
Yes.
are you guys part of the after school program that puts on the show, or is that separate?
So right now we have the after school program, and then we also have the drama team. I'm currently only able to be part of the drama team because I have some IRSC classes that conflict with the time of the after school program. So that's all that I do at the moment.
Good for you. What other school do you go to, or other than you're dual enrolled then at IRSC?
I am. I'm homeschooled, and then I'm taking the majority of my classes at IRSC.
That's super. So you're likely to graduate high school with your AA degree.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. Jaden, how about you?
I'm same as her. I'm currently just able to do the drama team right
Uh-huh.
now. I go to school. I'm homeschooled,
Hmm.
and I go to Westwood for one class. And
What are you looking at doing in your future?
right now I'm kind of hoping that I become an EMT.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a lot of obviously need for it, and it's also giving back to the community and part of
Yes.
what you do.
Yes.
Sophia, how about you?
I am looking to become a pediatric nurse practitioner. So I would always say my whole life, I was like, I don't want to work with kids. I don't want to work with kids. And then I decided to go into pediatrics. So a lot of people were laughing at me, but I think that it'll be a choice that I'll really enjoy quite a few years down the road.
And you're probably getting a fair amount of experience being on the stage and talking to other young people. A friend of my daughter's just recently graduated, uh, and there's all the different levels. If you're going to be in, first you get the nursing degree, and I don't remember all the different letters, so forgive me. But she just hit like the third level where she's an official nurse practitioner, and she is now practicing in the Jupiter area, and she is incredible. And you know, it's just a neat idea for somebody who wants to make a difference, wants to have a secure occupation where you don't have to worry about wherever you move in the United States, there's going to be a need for your services. So, well, I give you a lot of credit. Love to see both of you in maybe 5-6 years or so, or maybe a little bit longer than that for a pediatric nurse practitioner, come back and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm coming and I'm going to watch the show for End It, so I'm back in town to see the show. And by then, who knows what subjects you'll be covering for End It.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Sonia, so the wedding night to remember is not one of the causes. Like, it's a comedy interactive show. It's not one of the shows that has a deeper message.
Right, exactly. This is just all in fun. It's a lighter opportunity for our teens to just kind of, just have fun.
And you can't do the serious stuff all the time.
You can't.
It just
You
would
really
be-
can't.
yeah.
Even with Daddy, when we were doing the walkthrough, we would do about 3 shows per night, kind of like movie times. And we'd have to, like, just really, like, let loose in between, the shows and just be silly and have fun. And then they bring it back together. They're such professionals. And I just really, they really are, and I can't say enough about them. And I purposefully want to keep saying it because even as adults, sometimes they look down on our teens because they're believing the hype of what the culture is presenting as the norms, that they have attitudes or they only want to do terrible things or they follow the crowd. But even as Jaden just said, he'd rather be helping people. But our youth that are choosing positive things don't always get the same attention. So that is definitely who we're here to support as a preventative program.
And the interactive show, A Wedding Night to Remember, is going to be a fundraiser for you, which will help to raise the money between the sponsorships and the ticket sales to help you provide programming for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Do you have other fundraisers that you also do over the course of the year?
Usually our fundraisers typically revolve around our shows. So even when it's Daddy or, one of our productions, we're selling tickets for it. Also, we get invitations to go and perform in other areas around the Treasure Coast. We go down to Broward. Last year we went to Broward to do Daddy. We've been invited back. We go to Vero. So that also helps us to, to
the donations.
Yes,
that
the
are
donations
involved in
for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and actually, it's kind of a cool idea that if you wanted to do something for your company and have some entertainment, that they could invite you all to do the show for a donation.
Definitely.
For something different.
Exactly.
So, I really have to ask in today's climate, in our Me Too climate, we're looking at, without getting political at all, but we're looking at a step back into people's histories and to see what they were like in middle school and high school and college, and not always seeing what we like, what is a reflection of what we like. When you guys, you both, are more focused on homeschool, and now, Sophia, you're at IRSC for more of your day, but Do you see people being mean to each other when you're at IRC or when you're at Westwood or where you're out in the community? Do you see people that who think that they're better than others and not treating people the way they should be treated?
I would say sometimes it's not so much like one person, but it can definitely be where there's the group of people, who maybe do this at IRSC or they do that. And it's not so much the way that they treat other people, but, sometimes they'll walk around with a certain, sense of prestige or stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
entitlement that
Yeah.
makes and like you see it. Your point is well taken. You see it a lot in small groups or in larger groups because when you're feeling the safety of being part of a group, it's easier, unfortunately, to be mean to somebody who's not a part of your group. Did you see the movie Mean Girls? I know that's reaching back. I know, of course, Sonia's
Yes, I
seen it
did.
because, but the story of not being the most popular people in school and in the community, but people who do the right thing and care about what others are doing without laying any blame or without judgment as well. It's a difficult path, I think, especially for young adults.
Definitely. I was thinking as you're talking here, one of the things at Enda is we have a very diverse group. So while these two here are homeschooled and doing dual enrollment or whatever, we do have kids that are also from the different high schools and middle schools that are all together on one turf for one purpose. And it's definitely an opportunity to get to know people outside of your normal circle. So whether you're from the quote unquote popular group, then you're going to learn some humility. We've had that to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's not just teaching on different topics, but it's also character education. So we definitely deal with humbling, being humble as well. Whether it's people applauding you at the show, you make sure you say thank you. We have all types of sayings that I remind them of as far as being humble. Don't get the big head just because you're on stage. You have a platform, but you have a responsibility. And then we've also seen, as I said, those that are more shy and used to being excluded, that they start to feel like, hey, I have a family, like I do have friends. And then they become more comfortable with trying new things, and it's they feel comfortable being vulnerable in front of each other in a creative way. So it's just great to see.
And being respectful of each other, no matter if you're different.
Exactly.
It's interesting that you point out the students that are part of the program being part of different schools, because sometimes you see, especially if one school has a football program and another one does not, or one school has a winning basketball program and another one does not, or a band or any other group where if from the different high schools, you want to have school pride.
Right.
You want to have pride in who you are and what you're doing, but not at the expense of other people being lesser than just you can be great and everybody else can be great too.
Exactly. That's humility is really big. Like, don't get arrogant. Like, I always tell them, you can act as well as Denzel Washington, if they know who that is. But
yeah, I
whoever
do.
that is, yes,
Yeah.
you can act as well as Denzel Washington. But if you have too much pride, or you're being arrogant, or you're not being coachable, then I'd rather teach someone else. I'd rather you take a lower role, because your character is more important than the characters that you play. Who you are when you walk off the stage is more important than you being great on stage, but you're treating people, like trash outside of here. So that's really big. It's we're not your typical drama team. I'll say that. It's we compete in a very, I would say, comfortable way, and sometimes you don't even know you're going for a role, sometimes I'll say. But it's not your typical, it's always character over character. So, yeah, they're great.
Let's talk a little bit more about some of the other programs that you have. So you have the after-school program. You have the
Yes.
drama team.
Yes.
You just finished the summer camp, and you had a
Yes.
summer camp, and you're going to be doing that again next year.
Right.
Do you have like a holiday camp for Christmas or spring break? Do you do anything like that?
We will. This is actually our first year with funding from Children's Services Council to fund our year-round program.
Awesome.
So yes, in the past we were just but huge. We were a performing arts program. So when we came out in 2016 with Daddy, we've actually been in existence since 2010 and just kind of growing over time. But now, as a result of the year-round funding, we've added the after-school program. And what that looks like is we have bus transportation with the St. Lucie County school system from all green zone schools. From Fort Pierce, will bring middle and high school students to us. And we are at 804 South 6th Street here in Fort Pierce. We have a performing arts center now, which is like perfect for us and what we're doing. And as a part of that, we offer homework assistance and tutoring. We also have visual arts, meaning we have an artist that comes in once a week that does painting projects with them that are of the same theme as whatever the current production we're working on.
Is it the same artist every week, or do you have a different artist?
No, it's the same artist. Right now
Yes,
it's
so
Mr. Gary, and he did an amazing mural on one of our walls over the summer, which they got a chance to kind of see that.
Gerald
Unfolding.
O'Sullivan? Is
No,
it?
Gary Cadet.
Oh, Gary. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Gary Cadet.
Yeah.
So we have that. We also have graphic design that's a
Mhm.
part of it. So the amazing flyers and keeping up our social media. They're learning photography, videography, and then of course the arts, the performing arts is still a part of that. We also have a music studio in there. So it's a great tour. You know, we're always trying to get people in there to see what we're doing. And so that's after school. The days that school is closed, then we offer it all day. So once we get into, you're right, the Christmas break and everything, then we'll offer all day options as well for that. So
Is there a charge then for people to be part of the after school program?
there is a sliding scale model, meaning it's based on income. So we'll never turn away anyone based on not having enough money, even if it has to be full scholarship. Our first priority is to be able to get them in there and to be a part of it. But it's a sliding scale fee with the top number for private pay is $45 per week. But we have kids paying all over the spectrum based on income.
But the most you would pay would be $45
Yes.
a week.
Yes.
That's awesome. So you said it was on 6th Street. Give me kind of like a geographical.
Sure.
What is that near?
That is near the Dollar Tree on the corner of US 1, Sunrise, and Georgia Avenue.
Okay. Yeah.
That intersection.
Yeah. Okay.
Right behind the Dollar Tree on 6th Street, there's a plaza that loops around that's actually connected to Dollar Tree.
Mm-hmm.
And we're inside the plaza. We're right next to where LifeBridge was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I know where that is.
Yes, and we
Okay.
use the in the back of it. We use the back entrance because there's a smaller private parking lot back there. So that's where our doorbell is on that side, and it's actually a lot larger than what it looks like from the outside.
It's kind of like your secret entrance.
It's secret,
for
yes.
The secret
yes.
club. So you have an after-school program. You've got the drama team, and people can always be part of the drama team too. And
Yes.
are you in rehearsals right now for an issue show as well as for a night to remember? Do you have something new that you're working on?
No. Right now, it's all about a wedding night to remember.
Yeah.
So what we do on drama nights, Monday nights, is we merge our after-schoolers stay a little later if they'd like to be a part of the show. And then they get a chance to practice with the drama team. So it's still one show that they're working on. Right on the back of this, we'll be practicing for the Children's Services Council Sound of the Season play.
Yes, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes, so
so you'll be a part of that on the big stage at Sunrise Theater.
Yes. We love the sunrise, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so we were in it last year. We did our own rendition of The Grinch. You know, we had to do it in an ended way. We
Yeah.
made it our own, so we got to talk about what we're going to do this year. We haven't quite
Make your
decided yet.
plans.
Yes.
Well, a wedding night to remember again is coming up right around the corner on October 20th, and what is the location for it?
The location is in Ballantrae. It's 3325.
So is it at Sant Lucia?
Yeah,
River
at
Club?
the Santa Lucia River
Yeah,
Club in
yeah.
Port St. Lucie. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. It was great for when we did our 1920s theme last year.
That's an awesome
And
location.
Yes.
So, and
yes.
plus, you don't have to do as much heavy duty decorating because it's
None.
already a beautifully decorated facility.
Exactly.
So that's really neat. And of course, you says $45 for single and $80 for couples.
Yes.
And Sophia, is this, you've been in the other shows before? What would you say about this show compared to the other ones?
I like to say that this show is like our show for all the ages, because we have a lot of family friends of my family who are like, oh, I'd love to come see your shows, but they're not the best ones.
For all ages,
yeah,
but
bring
this
a
one
4-year-old
is.
too.
Yeah.
But this one's a fun one where you can invite everybody and the whole families can come and like laugh and, you know, try to figure out who it is.
Awesome. And Sophia and Jaden and, of course, Sonia have been my guests today talking from the organization End It. The show is A Wedding Night to Remember, and you could look them up on Facebook, End It Corp, and give them a call and purchase tickets for the show or find out more about the organization. You've been listening to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. We're here every week with more.